Whenever we run our class or hit the save and run button, we're going to run the method public static void main string square bracket args. I'm going to draw a stack frame to keep track of my local variables. Okay, my first line in my main method says dog Fido gets a new dog. So the left-hand side makes a variable named Fido. That's a variable that can hold a reference to a dog. Then the right-hand side says new dog. That's calling the constructor, which makes a new dog, which we've got a little purple dog here. So that right-hand side makes a new dog for us. Then that equals assignment is my assignment statement. It says Fido gets a reference to that new dog. So now Fido is referencing or keeping track of that dog for us. Our next line says dog Oreo, and then just has a semicolon. So there's no right-hand side. We're not calling the constructor. So that first part, by saying dog Oreo, that makes a new variable named Oreo, and that's a variable that can hold a reference to a dog. It's just like Fido in that way, but we don't actually give it a value, and so it stays as what we call null. And we represent that here because you can see this little X in the back, and it's common to represent null as an X. So you might see something like this in a picture. That representing null. Okay, here we've got an Oreo is null because we didn't give it a value. So Oreo is a variable that can reference a dog, but we haven't given it a value, so it's null. The next line says dog Spot gets null. So the left-hand side makes a variable named Spot. That's going to be a variable that can hold a reference to a dog object. And then the right-hand side is null. And we already saw Oreo was null. It's like when there's no value for the reference set. That's just what null means. Be like, nope, you haven't set this variable to reference anything. And so actually that line, dog Spot gets null, is going to do the exact same thing as the line dog Oreo. Spot stays as null, and it never gets a remote control that references an actual object.